Keon, thank you for the sub. The 28 months. We're doing good. That's another indication I'm getting old. You know, someone subs to me and I'm like, oh, how long have you been subbed to? Since 10 BC. Interesting. Swaggy, thank you for the sub. I'll be careful, I don't want to go down that road. That's ridiculous. I show meat. That was really good, Ox. I saw a tweet that was like, yeah, if I was given constant amount of attention from like my teenage years for every stupid thing I did, it'd turn out crazy too, and I think it's a good way to describe speed. Like, he just did every dumb thing a person could do, and the entire internet was like, hooray, keep doing that! Like, of course you're gonna go, like, actually mental. You don't survive that without, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's over when that happens. I think the internet and the entertainment industry in general just makes bad people. Got 95.9 on alpha. Ooh, 98.5 on alpha. Not good. I don't know, you just have to like BS the ending. The only way. Did I just wake up? No. I just didn't comb my hair today. That's why it's all like this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Wasn't feeling it today, so. I don't have a bad for speed at all. I'm really skimming to me, dude. It's complicated though. Here's the thing. Like, yeah, that's bad. There's no justifying that. But it's still his whole life, his brain gets all messed up. I'm not defending. It's sad. Like, it's not something I'd be like, oh, what a tortured hero or anything like that. It's just sad. Like, actual. When did I get to bed last night? Like 8 a.m. I don't know. Pretty good for me actually. I made it to bed before 9, so that's an improvement by like 1 hour. New PB. Close. Guys, what happened to this month? By the way, it's the 17th. The 17th? I was the first like 2 days ago. Like 2 days ago, it was the first. 17th? Yeah, what's up, King Samuel? Thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, bro. You can't think of a single thing that happened this month? Oh, I can think of at least one thing. But other than that, nothing happened this, like, I don't know. We're just getting started, you know, we're about to hop into Edge of Destiny. Hopefully everything's in the right position. I'm just closing my tabs, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Hope you guys had a good time over on Samlot stream. What were you up to today? On holiday? Alright, people. I forgot not everyone's back in school yet. Load game me now. Nice. Alright, here we go. Here we go! Let's do a good job today, huh? Oh, you were playing Nightshade? I didn't know. Good luck. That was really cool. I'm a big fan of it. Hope I don't get 95. Okay, let me just be real with y'all. I'm getting 95. Or I'm dying in that ship somewhere. Like, we all don't want me to. But that doesn't have any effect on whether or not I actually will. Unfortunately. We can want as much as we want. That doesn't change what's gonna actually go down when I get over there. You know? If I fluke the ship, I'll feel fantastic. That's how I'll feel like I just won everything. Any possible competition or award you could win. If I fluke that ship. We don't need to die there. That'd be awesome. That's one of those things where, like, everyone would be like, speech, 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 and be like, oh, I wouldn't, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it. I just, you know, thank you guys so much. You know, it's one of those kind of accomplishments, you know what I mean? Like, fluking that ship. It's not gonna happen, but I want it to. That'd be really cool. I can't play VR. My brother played Gorilla Tag for intermediate jellyfish maps. I don't know. I hate jellyfish with a passion unknown to many. I guess. I don't know. Intermediate? I guess you gotta go to like Spring Collab 2020. My brother played Gorilla Tag for billions of hours. Do I have scoliosis? Nope, that's not something I got. Yet. Actually, I don't know much about scoliosis. I don't think it could just happen, right? But yeah, just open the game. Sorry. We're ass out here. Motion sickness is indeed real. Cannot play it. Actual 0% chance I'll ever be able to play VR. No schizophrenia yet. Who knows? There are no voices, luckily. Well, I guess I can't 100% say that, because last night I was trying to sleep, and I listened to a song that day like 8 times on repeat, and surprise, surprise, guess what was playing in my head as I was trying to go to sleep. But that's not voices. I'm sure it's happened to literally everybody to some extent. If you do literally anything for too much of your day, when you try to fall asleep, it's gonna be replaying in your brain every time. That's what it does. Like, for example, like, I remember I had this one day where I went skiing for like 11 hours or something. Guess what happened when I closed my eyes? Or you go water tubing. Guess what happened when I closed my eyes? Or literally anything. The day I got the 100 bridge win streak. Guess what happened when I closed? Whenever I do anything. I was listening to, I don't remember what the name of the song is. It's the first song off the DLC of Scaring the Hose. And I was listening to it. I listened to it like 8 times on loop, and then I was trying to sleep, and then it was playing on my brain. I was like, oh my god, I messed up here a little, didn't I? Yeah. And then I had a really, really weird dream. I'm not even gonna bother this time. No, I don't really dream about GD. Gotta hear the dream. It's so stupid. It's not even like fully explainable what happened. It's like it was I was in Minecraft, like entirely in Minecraft, by the way. Like, which is hard to describe unless it's happened to you in a dream, which is hard to do. But there was no me. There was only I was in Minecraft and I was controlling inside of Minecraft, and it went weird very quickly. My brain made up a new game mode, but it started like Bridge. but every goal I scored, it reconstructed the entire game and world and rules and made a different area you had to go score, and it kept increasing the amount of people. I remember I dueled someone in my brain. I dueled one goal, and then the next thing I knew, the second goal, it was like goal scored, reconfiguring map. I was in this like stone bunker. It was surrounded by stone, and there was this like iron gen from Bed Wars, and I got the iron, and I went to look for a shopkeeper, and I found someone else who was on my team. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, why do I have someone on my team? That wasn't like that before. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, we were talking like with our words, even though we were just like, we were just, you know, we were, you know, Minecraft avatars, you know, but we were talking. We were like, yeah, I'm on your team now. We got to go stop the red. And I'm like, okay, because I was blue. I was like, all right, how do we do that? And he's like, follow me. And then we like, it like opens up to this like cave, and there's like a shopkeeper in there, and he's like, hello, have you brought some iron for me? And I was like, okay, yeah, I got some iron. We got some tools, and we find mid. Mid is now no longer just the middle of the bridge. It's like this whole ass like arena, and there's like, it's like a 2v2. So it's me and this other guy, and I'm like coming in to assist because we're fighting the red guys. We beat them, and we go to score. But instead of a goal, it's like this parkour course, and you have to get to the end, and there's a pressure plate. And if you land on the pressure plate, you score a goal. So I did that. By the way, if you're wondering, this is goal 2 out of 5, and it doesn't stop getting crazier after this point, by the way. So, I'm not even sure if you guys were able to handle what, like, it just gets so insane. But anyway, so I'm able to remember a dream. Oh, I wrote it down instantly when I woke up. I was like, oh my god. Like, I literally said out loud, oh my god. Okay, so I got on the pressure plate, bam. Bam, goal 3. Everything restructures, everything resets. I wake up, I'm in this like house. I'm in a house now. It's like a city. We are now a city. Blue team is a whole ass city of people. Like, there's an actual like village of the blue people. And I wake up, and there's this guy over there, and he's like, hey, we're at war with the red people right now. We are trying to get into their goal. We have an army of about 100 people here. And I'm like, what? 100 people? I got upstairs, everyone's like gearing up, you know what I mean? They've got like insane generators of every resource, and they're like, you know, we have the shopkeeper barrack down here, and it's like this whole ass like Batman style like dungeon cave where you gotta go down this like elevator to get to this like, ancient old wise guy. It's like, hello, I will facilitate any need that you have here, and here's all my wares. And then there was like pots and stuff like that, and like you could buy more blocks, and you could buy like all these different, I think there may have even been pop-up towers if I'm not incorrect about that. So I was like, okay, I got a bunch of stuff, I got some pots, I got some stuff, and I'm like, let's go to mid, let's do this, you know? And he was like, wait, don't be hasty. This isn't just something you can go do by yourself. We need to, you know, get the whole army here. But, you know, if you say you're ready, we'll get the army ready. And so I got this, like, giant platoon of people, you know? I got this, the whole blue team are standing next to each other. We looked across. The arena now was, like Hyrule Field. Like, it was huge. And it was still, like, red and blue themed. But it was like an actual field you were going to go battle on. And we saw the red army approaching from the other side, and we were like, oh my god, we need to engage. So this guy comes out, I don't know who it was, he gave this like speech, and he was like, we are going to vanquish the red team once and for all, now that we have our new member. And then everyone points to me and they're like, yeah, new guy, you'll do it. And I'm like, all right, they're counting on me, you know, because they're like, they thought I was some god because I woke up in their place, right? You know, I just like appeared one day. They were like, well, clearly you must be the answer. Because, you know, that's just kind of how it works in those situations. So I'm like, you know what? I started this, I'm going to end it. Let's do this, you know? And so I go, and we were like, I'm like, charge! We'll run at the red. We're actually like, you know, we're getting into it and stuff like that. I'm watching on the battlefields looking crazy. Everyone's like placing blocks and like bypassing, and it's like this giant, massive activity. You know, my brain could barely, I don't know how my brain was loading it. I was like, oh my god. I start fighting this one guy, and then I find this one guy who's like clearly different from the rest. He's like, you think you're special, but I'm the guy like you, but I'm on the red team. And I recognize him as being the first guy that I was dueling at the start of the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, you're real. So we have this like giant, like other people like stop to watch what we're doing, because it was like this like Battle of the Titans situation where we're like using everything we have, and I was like, I mean, we were doing this like massive, I don't know what, we were having this like massive ass fight and stuff like that. I finally kill him, and just like the world just like, it's like this quieting moment, and I was just like, that's it, isn't it? And everyone that was red just kind of bowed, and they just like went to their knees and everything, and we went in. There was like 20 of us still left, and there was like the parkour was like this like, this is okay. How am I gonna do? Okay, it became like, wow. Okay, I gotta think really hard about how I'm gonna describe this. So it wasn't parkour now. It was like a rainbow disco floor, and there were patterns on the ground. There were like combinations of colors. So you'd have tiles, like 4 tiles in a row that were like different colors, and there'd be like a TV where it was like, you need to stand on this pattern in order to survive the death. And it was like rounds, and it got faster as it went. So it was like, you have to stand on this pattern, red square, blue square, yellow square, green square. You have to find this pattern on the giant ground. And if you don't find it fast enough, the floor disappears and you fall into the lava and you die. And you need to get, and then the round started to get faster, and I was like, gotta find the pattern. And I kept finding this pattern, and eventually I found it, and then it was like this area where it was like, all right, now find the correct pressure plate, and it was like, find the key, and there was like this puzzle. I don't really remember the puzzle, but you had to solve the puzzle or something, and then I found the pressure plate, and I won, and I don't know what was gonna happen next, because my mom called me, and it woke me up. Because, you know, it was like probably midday by that point. So if it kept going, I wouldn't know. But it was probably just gonna go, blah, blah. I don't know where it was gonna, but I don't know. All of a sudden, I woke up, I was like, Mom? Because I was confused. I was like, what is, you know, because I was still in this like weird state where I was like, I don't know what that was. And so I talked to my mom, and then I didn't bother going. I was like, all right, day started. I don't know. So I don't know if it would have actually kept going. No idea. Maybe it would have stopped there. I can't tell if my brain was actually going to be able to load more on top of that. But yeah, that's definitely up there with my weirdest streams I've ever had. I don't know. If multiplayer streams haven't joined your lobby, I wish. We should do a sleep study. For real though. I've been doing to see these. You can believe me or not believe me. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like this is what's going on. I don't know why it's going on. That's not the question I asked. Yeah. Weird. Midnight, thank you for the 100 bits. Unlock multiplayer dreams. I think I could literally, like, I'd probably get like a channel with like 10 billion subscribers if like we ever got the technology to like play back your dreams and people could watch them. Like, I think that'd be it. Hello, Matt. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have dumped all that. That's like actually insanity. I'm sorry. I got into it. Enough people gave me permission to go all out there. How do I sell my dream to a friend? I don't know. What? I guess I must have clicked. I don't remember clicking. This thing is one of those things, like, after you wake up from that, you know, you think to yourself, am I, like, okay? Like, is my brain working at all? But I don't know what else, like, I don't know. I can still form rational thought and rational communication. And even when the dream was happening in my head, I was like, what is going on? You know, it wasn't like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not yet. Spike. The spikes are like, I'm gonna go pick her in the middle. Killed me. I should make a podcast that's just devoted about talking about my dream last night. Whoa! Fat Bug Bunny, thank you for the 10 gifted. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, man. Goddamn, really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. So that goes a long way. Everyone say thank you if you got us up. Dynamic, thank you for the sub. Yeah, I really appreciate that, bro. Thank you. I was never on shrooms on stream. So that's not, I can, yeah, for 100 subs I'll tell you which one, which is none of them. So here's that Herbert squeak. Squeak. And then a bunch of consonants. Actually, Y is not a consonant. I learned that from something, I don't remember what the show was called. It was like the Wigglers or something, but that's not right. That's a Mario enemy, so. What the? Okay, thank you for the 20 gift subs, Fat Bug Bunny. Okay. Jesus Christ. Infinite money glitch? The Wiggles. Yes. Thank you for the 20 gifts. Everyone say thank you. That got a gift sub. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Wait, Doggy and Xerix got it in that batch? That's crazy. That is a big, big win. Thank you so much. The Wiggler. Leave me alone, I tried. Yeah, this is an infinite money cheat. I don't know what's going on here. Thank you so much, man. I do not dream in black and white. Thank you so much. Here's X, thank you for the sub. I'm sure my cheeks hurting? Not really. I guess where my wisdom teeth were growing in. That was a long time ago. Oh. Oh, okay. Really good death. When I start chewing my tongue while I'm focusing, I don't know, some psychological something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, I should literally go through all my streams and just, like, make a video just titled, like, Dream Compilation #1 or something and get it, like, 84 zillion views or something. It'd be, like, an hour long or something. I don't know how the hell I'd find them, though. Like, how would you find every stream which I've talked about a dream? I'm I playing this wave for? No one cares about this wave. This wave's auto. Get people to edit it like the video. No, the reason the wave is actually hard, like, it's not about the spacing of the gaps. It's like about like the types of clicks you have to do. It gets, once you understand the muscle memory behind it, though, because like when the duel comes together, you have to do a very specific like length of click in order to make it into the next gap, which is just as tight as the gaps where you can actually see what you're doing. Like right here, you just kind of have to know, and that's like something you actually have to deal with. How many times so far? Like, I don't know how many. I'm off with mods. I'll handle it. Maybe. Urge. I don't know what that button does. Don't make fun of my desktop. Don't make fun of it. I'm sick of you guys. I'm sick of you guys and my desktop and the things you've all said about it. Words hurt, you know. Okay. I don't know why. Good luck on unloading the dishwasher. Unloading the dishwasher is fine. It's loading the dishwasher that I never liked. Especially when people won't, like, rinse their plates off before putting them in. Like, really? I'm the one who has to do that? You can't rub it over with water, like, one time before you put it in the goddamn sink? Hardest part of the level, apart from the pre-drop. Does this count? Because this is a really hard part. Do you know about it? Yo, Fat Boy Buddy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Whoa, 5 tier 2! That matters more than you guys think it does. That's like a surprise amount. That's, I've never seen someone like multi-gift a tier 2. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ. They cost like a lot. Yeah, wow. Jesus Christ. Seriously. Got the Roblox Infinite Money Tycoon glitch. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Yeah, what? Damn. Well, thank you so much. And congratulations, you got a tier 2. Damn. Passing Elon Musk this stream. That was really sketchy. Thank you so much, Jesus Christ. You were the donor right now. Like, if this stream was like a building, your name would be on one of the floors. You know what I mean? You ever go to like those hospitals? And it's like, thank you to these people for making it possible. You'd be on that. If you know, I was a building, but I'm not a person. I don't have floors. Well, I mean, I have elevation changes, I guess, but I can't put anything in there. And no one's ever gonna see it except for my insides. I think 10 tier 3 subs would instantly turn my teeth gold and cause money to start raining down from the sky. You know what I mean? Yes, dude. I'm actually gonna focus this one. I think that's gonna be awesome. No! Oh my god. Damn it, dude. I really wanted it. Thank you for the tier 3 fat bug bunny. Really appreciate that. Thanks for all the subs, man. Don't die from zero again. For some reason, every time I get here to Madness, my brain's like, and then it just stops working entirely. Like, come on, bro. Damn it, dude. I wanted it. Let's get it. What do you say to someone that's tried really hard to get good at the game, but they just can't? You gotta keep, if you really want it, you just gotta keep trying. I mean, that's me. You know? I'd say I'm actually good at, like, maybe 2 games, and I wouldn't even count this as one of them. And both are because the physical barrier to entry is, like, actual negative. This game is not like that. No, dude. Yo, Glowy Orange, thank you for the 2 tier. Is that 2 tier 3? That's crazy. I can't see it. But oh yeah, that is what that is. And CD Music got one by random chance. I think that says something. You know? There's some sort of symbolism there. Anyone else seeing it? Thank you so much, by the way. Jesus Christ. How do you get more bits? Well, it used to be able to just watch ads. But it's gone now. Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know what to even, like... How? How are you guys funding this? I'll never understand. Glowy Orange, thanks for the gift sub. Appreciate it. I wouldn't say, like, imposter syndrome is the right way to phrase it, but, like, I don't really recognize that I'm a streamer that has, like, 400 viewers on average and blah, blah, like, all those things. Like, whenever someone donates so much, I'm like, really? How's that? You know what I mean? Like, I know, look, I know how big of a number 400 people really is. Like, I know that. You know what I mean? But I can't conceptualize it. So when I hear that number, I'm like, yeah, there's people in here. They're listening. They're around. You know, it's impossible to conceptualize how big of a number that, I can't conceptualize a number that big. 400. 2 zeros after a significant digit. That's crazy. I mean, they're all significant. You know what I mean? The first time I really thought about that, when I started to blow up and I was getting like 300 viewers on like YouTube, is I was walking around a track. And this isn't like to brag or ego, it's just like the conceptualization of this many people. Lightage, thank you for the sub. Regardless of anything else. I was walking around a track for like some like school event, and there was like 300 people out there, and I could see 300 people, and I was like, damn, 300 people, that's what this looks like. You know, you actually see it as a figure, and it's just completely different when you actually see it like that, you know what I mean? Cool. I'm trying to get my finger down to hyperextend right now, because that is not fun. No. My friends have drank plenty of Prime, but I never liked energy drinks or anything like that. Not out of any moral thing. But I don't know, I don't roll with it. Coconut water? Sounds alright. I'd roll with that. Yeah, they're all just sitting there like, oh, I'm watching this guy playing GD. Talking amongst themselves, like, I don't know. Jackwall, thanks for the gift sub, appreciate that. No! I wanted it! Thank you for the sub, Cumations and Fat Bug Buddy, appreciate that. Damn it, dude. Troll. Yes! Good message, you nerve. Best message I've ever seen in my life. Congratulations on that. Just completely blew everyone else out of the water with that one right there. Jackwat, thank you for the gift sub, appreciate that. Here's the thing, I will say this, and I mean, I don't think there's anything, like, I don't think I'm one of a kind, there's nothing super extraordinary about me. I think that, at the end of the day, a lot of YouTubers who do YouTube, or streamers, something like that, do so because they like the attention, they like everyone watching them, they like, you know, that sort of thing. And I think, in doing so, you never notice how, like, the average content creator just doesn't seem to be a good person at all, you know what I mean? I think that contributes a lot to me, quote unquote, standing out, just because kind of a lot of the people who do it are not, and I'm not trying to say I'm some perfect person, but at least I just don't care, you know what I mean, about that sort of thing, you know? Big Crutch, thank you for the gift sub. But then again, when the average person thinks about streaming, they usually don't get into it because they're like, well, I'm not motivated by those things, you know what I mean? I think the only way someone like me could really get into the situation is like by accident almost, because that's kind of how I fell into it. I was just playing GD on stream, you know? I was just like, this is what you do And you need to stream it for legitimacy and everything, so I was like, okay. And through that I found this, I guess. Nice. And you know, when people look to get into streaming nowadays, they visualize the end goal, and for them the end goal looks like a pile of money and, you know, like all the attention from everyone and blah 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 blah. And that's what they like imagine when they think about streaming, I guess. And even though people don't think about it, that heavily impacts the way you interact with the whole space entirely when you're trying to get what you want, and that's something you want. No, that is not my net worth. That's like my sub count. That's like my exact sub count. I think that's where they pulled the number from. I don't think one sub is worth $1. like a YouTube sub. I definitely ain't seeing that money. You know what I mean? I don't know, at this rate though, we'll get there in about 2 hours, so. No! That hurt really badly, like really badly, guys. I know it's a hard click, and I shouldn't feel too bad over it. Like, it's a genuinely really hard click, but still. That's like, it was like, I saw the, you know, where I could go. Damn, dude. I just overthought it, yeah, literally. When I do it in runs, I'm just like, who cares if I pass it, you know? Sometimes that makes the real difference there. Oh no, I'm so much better at the game now that allergy season is over. Like, significantly. I feel it. The amount of control I have over the character was not there before. I'm gonna have playing it back in like March or whatever. Like, God, no. No chance of beating it then. I appreciate you, Cube animations. Cube animations, I can't read. If you're from the UK, you've been up a long time, huh? Not that I can say anything to you, because I was up until midday over there. Actually, closer to evening, so... Yeah, I just need to stop thinking. It's hard. I'm not good at that. That's something I'm not very good at. I need to incorporate what I've learned through meditation, like in GD. Like, I just need to, like, shut it up. The problem is that requires some... I don't know if I can just, like, hop into that mode. Cardi, your CB, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. The problem is meditation, getting into the state I want, takes, like, 20 minutes. I can't just be like, bam, and now we're not thinking anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Although, that's kind of what happened that one Zodiac stream where I just kind of just stopped being... That's it, really, you know? I decided at 70, I was like, oh, damn. Again. Senior year of high school? I mean, every time I think about senior year, I think of a blank. I think about, like, Super Paper Mario World 6 after the black hole took everything. There's just nothing there. And you're just holding right until it ends. It's the same thing. It's the actual nothing will happen all year. Just have fun. If you have friends, have fun. I didn't have any friends in senior year because I moved to a new school in 11th grade. And not only did I not like the people, but, you know, it was a smaller place. And 11th grade, a lot of people already had their crew, you know what I mean? So if you got people, just have a good time with them, man. You know? I had that experience. And a lot of people are like, said you didn't have 9th, 10th grade. I had the time of my life with my friends. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth about it, you know? And I would not be the same person if I didn't have those experiences in life. And now that senior year is rolling around, you probably made it through junior year. And depending on the kind of person you were in school, I don't know if COVID ruined that balance, but usually, like, junior year is the year you actually do stuff, and then senior year you do nothing. So I'd say just have fun. Don't take it so seriously, but don't fail. Okay, been dying there too much recently. Yeah, I don't have a lot of like Asian viewers, I think, just because of the time zone. But if I stream this late, some of them are able to catch it for sure. It's like probably like what 10 in the morning, I'd say, something like that. Yeah, that cube is hard to get like fully consistent at. It's a brutal part. No think, only chew tongue. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna see any like old viewers stop by again now that 2.2 has been revealed and everyone's like, I should probably get back to the game again. You know what I mean? I've already seen a couple people pop up I haven't seen in a little while. Six PM is that Cali, that area, Oregon, Washington. I've never like been to Cali, like really though. Like I've been to Oregon and Washington while I was conscious, but I mean, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I'm old, but I'd still say anything before, like, 2013, I wasn't a conscious being. I was just there. Because that's when I became, like, 11, and that's when you start to exist. Before that, I didn't really exist. Like, I was obviously made by the things that happened to me, but I didn't exist until, like, 2013. What's up? It's Mr. Bran. Hollywood seems fun. It seems like a lot. I don't know if I'd like it. Yeah, I was 11 in 2013. I'm old. I'm 21 now. Like, I was conscious, but I can't, like, if I really think about it, I don't really remember a whole lot back then. Like before then. It's more just like scattered memories. I can't think about my life as a whole. Alcohol's okay. I don't know. The problem is, I don't like drinking. I'll have anything to do the next day. It's just not fun. I don't like having fun if I know that, like, I'm gonna have to do something really important the next day, and it's not. You know what I mean? I've never really been like that. Fun is only fun if it's like going to be okay in the end, I guess. Is my camera always underneath my head? I don't know. What does that even mean? In perspective. Is my entire face in frame? Yes or no? Answer me. Yes? Okay. End of conversation. I don't care after that. Like no offense, but I don't know. If you could see what I'm saying with my words, then I am not. People 100% surreal, Mike. Yeah, I can do it a bit more now that my allergy season's over. I don't think I'm allowed to stream high though. I'm like 99.9999% sure because it's still federally illegal. Of course, it's legal in New York, but. I'm 1 zillion% sure that the guidelines say I can't do it. Yeah, New York's really progressive. I mean, kind of often. I'd say like once every 3 weeks. At like my peak. Unless unless we're on like a bunch of friends came into town, like Bender situation, but that's different. Just like normal life. Yeah, green is my favorite color. I'm in New York. Pennsylvania weed is not legal. 100% sure. Fed sent bits to get my location. I ain't doing nothing illegal this time. I win. It's so great to have none of the things I'm doing be illegal for once. It's a nice feeling. Oh yeah, I bet in Oregon. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, unfortunately. I should probably mention, just so you guys know, like I'm not gonna get super into it, but like whenever I buy alcohol or weed, I never buy it with Twitch money. I don't like the concept of that. Like when people donate to me, everything that gets donated to me on Twitch goes to either food or housing, or like bills or anything like that, like real stuff. You know what I mean? Because I've always felt like Twitch is more of like a real place. You know what I mean? YouTube ad revenue is just a bit different. So when you donate to me on Twitch, that's what you're donating to. The food and housing world. Yeah, it's legal. You just go to a dispensary. I ain't doing nothing illegal no more. Donate to the weed fund. Right, yeah. That's exactly how I feel about it. Like, Twitch money's coming from the viewer, you know? And YouTube's just coming from, like, advertisers. So different to me. I'm gonna say catch about that. Well, weed isn't so stigmatized in my head. You have to understand. Like, I have a medical condition that could be treated with weed. Like, it's not so... I don't know how to describe it. It's not so stigmatized for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't have to be stigmatized for you guys. I'm not pushing nothing on... You know what I mean? Thank you, thank you. Now, okay, that specifically will go in. Thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, YouTube money is for like extra stuff. I don't know, but at my core I am a streamer. You know what I mean? Yeah, weed's getting less stigmatized, which is a good thing because it's not like, you know, not to say it's not fun, but it has very important real uses. But I'm also not gonna be the people that sit here and be like, no, it's totally good for you all the time, man. It's totally good. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that either. I'm not trying to encourage nothing. No. Yeah. Well, it was always like that. Nothing really changed. You know, it was always like this. It's not addictive chemically, but you can get addicted to how it feels because it's, you know, cool. Just like anything else. But no, it's not addictive chemically. Like, it doesn't cause your brain to be like, we need more of... And then again, it's not like I spend a gargantuan amount of money on either. It's a very, very small amount of anything. Weed Eater, thank you for the sub. It's like my time. But yeah, I need to very, very, very strongly encourage you guys like not to ever like when it comes to any substance, you don't take what you're hearing on the internet from some guy ever. You need to like talk to people that actually know what the hell they're talking about, like, and in reference to like things that might be able to help you, especially like a lot of conditions can be treated with it, a lot, but a lot get way worse. You know, it's a very like, you know, like there's stuff like depression, anxiety, OCD, in a lot of cases ADHD, that weed helps a lot. But also those exact same conditions, it could hurt you super bad. Because once again, these conditions that we assign are just labels we put to things. We're like, yeah, this is like this, I guess. You know? Here for the 100 bits, the real mic. No, I can't do edibles anymore. I can't because my sinuses are so clogged. And they dry me out so much. It's so annoying. Because those are my favorite. It depends. It can do a whole bunch of stuff. It's definitely worth asking a doctor about if you have any conditions. And if it's legal. Even if it's not legal, it might be medically legal. Do some research. Yeah, but that was before my sinuses got all messed up. Well, here's the thing. I get that, and I'm kind of the same. Like, weed helps me a lot with a lot of my issues, but I don't like using it as a crutch either because it's not, like, it doesn't feel like me. You know what I mean? It feels like, it feels like a cheat code in a way. You know what I mean? Even though I know it's not true. But there's also a lot of conditions, like Parkinson's, for instance, or stuff like that, where there's not really any benefit to not, you know, it can really help there. it's a very case by case, person by person situation. And I don't want to simplify it at all. No, I'm not talking about perks. I'm not doing perks. That's not happening. I do not need to be doing all that. GD plug account seems like a fire idea. A hard thing to regulate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if direct message, if you like Telegram, you're able to. You can, I very much doubt those are regulated. No perks, no amphetamines, no benzos. Well, I guess caffeine's an amphetamine, right? But it doesn't even do anything. So I guess I should shut up. LinkedIn perks. What kind of drug is Fent? I'm stupid. Same thing heroin is. But I don't... What kind of... Am I stupid? I forgot the drug class. Genius! Oh wait, that's still an opioid. Yeah, opiate. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to encourage anyone to do anything. But I also can't do edibles anymore. Because until I get the whole sinus thing fixed, it drying out my system is not... It's not worth the experience. I don't get people that still do stuff like that, even if it hurts them, like... Then you gotta really reevaluate why they're doing it, honestly, at that point. No. No 1,000 milligrams story today. I've already resigned to telling that stream when I'm drunk, because I can do that, I think. I do, yeah. It's like a 1 gram. 10,000. No, I'll pass on that. We don't need to go further than that. There's really no point. It doesn't do anything more. For those who, like, know, you'll know that if... Like, there's only a certain amount of receptors that it can actually bind to. It's just going to stay around forever. That's what actually happens. Like, there's a certain level where it doesn't make you any more. It just prolongs it, because then once one unbinds, it's like, okay, there comes the next one, and then it's like a giant conga line of things. Attaching to the right receptors. Okay, I did it. Someone said stop talking for 1 attempt, so I did. Are you happy? And they say I'm not a streamer for the people. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why everyone's gotta do all that to me, dude. I mean, I'm trying to see a doctor. I mean, it's not just the edible. Let me be clear. It's the same exact thing that happened when I was descending on the airplane and my ears felt like they were going to burst. It's the same issue. My brain can't regulate pressure changes or, like, moisture changes or anything. So, anything that does that is going to make that happen. No, that's how hard it has been to find a doctor. I have not even done the atypical cystic test yet, so that's cool. Which I still hold is definitely what it is. Like 1 billion, trillion, zillion %. The only actual clue I've gotten has only been for myself. And that's like, I think I might need to get on like a vasodilant. Like that might actually be a good solution for me. Because that's what alcohol is. And that actually does help the congestion. Because my congestion is oftentimes related to the fact that everything's too tight in there. And that like, for some reason loosens the... Drink pure ethanol, yeah. An entire fireball? Isn't that one shot? Oh no! I hear stories that like people like snorted flour when they were a kid to try it out, and I was like, what? Are we the same species? I was not out there doing that. That was not on my list of things to try. Got plenty of stories. People just used to be weird in school, man. I'm telling you. I wonder where those kids are now. We all know. You know what I mean? The kids that would just be there doing whatever. Snorting random, like, Smarties, yeah. Making concoctions, you know, at lunch. They'd be putting all the ingredients together. I wonder what they're doing right now. Some of them are probably, like, sex offenders or something. I don't even know. Like, their brains are probably just messed up. That's my guess. Concoctions. Like what? Like why do they? I can't imagine doing that. Like my brain would instantly be like, hey, what happens after you do it, huh? You ever think about that? And then I just wouldn't do it. No, I've never vaped and I never will vape. I've never touched nicotine. Not happening. Point to doing that. 0. Yeah. And it's worse. It's not. I don't know if it's worse or better or whatever. People are always like, "Oh, it's a little better." It's all. Who the care? It's smoking, nicotine, tobacco. Who cares if it's worse or bad? It's still the same. I don't know. Isn't it like synthetic or something? Like how they make it? Because that never turns out good. Look at Spice, or K2, they tried to recreate weed. Did it work? No. They made weed alcohol? Alright, you're gonna need to break that one down for me. Weed alcohol. Cool. Weed alcohol. Yeah, it's like a kid concoction. I don't know. Yeah, but I can't talk about stuff that's actually illegal, so I won't. In regards to any other substance. But I don't really do anything, so it doesn't really matter. But still. No opioids. I already said the things that I would know about. I don't lie. No, I believe you that it's real. No argument that it's not real. Well, if we're vaping weed, that's different. We're talking like nicotine out here. Jägermeister tastes like licorice and it's ass. Sorry, I had to say it. I don't like. It's too sweet, bro. I don't think they make an alcohol too. It literally tastes like licorice, bro. Like black licorice, like you're drinking it. Well, I think that has something to do with your name, Weed Eater. I think it's like whenever you click on it, you're bound to see what you are. So it's like black licorice is incredible. Well, to each their own. You know, I just don't like things that taste like that. I guess. Really, just not my cup of tea at all. Stop. I'm getting it right now. Luckily I can't smell anything, so that helps the alcohol situation. I can drink straight, no problem, because of that. I think that's the main reason why people can't, to be honest with you. But with no sense of smell. Let's try to move on from this topic, but I will say crossfaded is the best way that you can do anything legally, I think. Like, if we're talking, like, best way to be if you're doing anything like that. That's the one. But that's rare. Once a month or something, if that. No Coke. Alright, moving on. No more of this topic. Talked about it for too long now, we have. And I haven't gone anywhere. Two things that need to change. Then again, I don't know where we're going next, so it's kind of a moot point. The problem is, people are always like, why do you keep talking about the same things in chat all the time? Well, the problem is, when I start talking about it, all of a sudden everyone in chat has got something to say, and then I can just respond to more people, and it's like an infinite, repeating, recursive loop. School bathrooms were something else, yeah. I mean, I told you guys the story before about someone just, like, literally ripping out a toilet. It's crazy. One time a toilet was gone, another time the door was gone. They were not the same event. It's crazy. That school was starting to get wild. I think they were on, like, insane drugs there. And they said as much. Did they get away with it? I don't remember. I mean, I don't know. They were all just like... How do I take a door from the school bathroom? I don't know. I don't know. Occasionally you just walk to the bathroom and there'd be a bunch of tape around it and you'd just be like, oh my god. And then you'd have to hear from others what actually happened if you didn't see yourself. I saw the door. But like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Water Flame BS, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. How'd you rip off a stall door? I don't know. It's a mystery unknown to me. But they did it. They really did it. It's a great question. One which I don't believe has an answer that I know about. But yeah, the whole time at lunch, they would just brag about the drugs they were taking. It was like, wow. Like, you guys are cool. Because I remember I was at the table for a while. You know, like the table where stuff like goes down. And it was just a constant brag about drugs that I still don't think I've heard of in any other situation, which is how you know they're designer drugs. That's crazy to me. And they're just like, yeah, let's take it and see what happens. Who knows? Could be anything. Like, it's the same. It's just like the middle school. It's like the adult version, the middle school making a concoction and then taking it. Same thing. You don't know what you're doing. You're just doing random nonsense and hoping it works out. Yeah, I've seen the Chubby Emu video. The nutmeg thing. Just come to Long Island. I don't know what. Whenever I even look at Long Island on the map, it just looks like an urban wasteland that goes on forever. You should come to upstate New York. There's cool stuff out here. And we have good food. Awesome. I was like, there's so much good food in Long Island. There's still good food here. I promise you. Buffalo's boring, Rochester's boring, Syracuse is interesting. That's as someone who's been in all three places. I saw a TikTok trend this morning of adults cracking an egg on their kids' heads, and the kids are like, what the hell, why'd you do that? And they just start laughing and then not explaining why. And then the entire comments are like, ha, you guys would never survive back when I was raised as a kid. And I was like, wow, this is cool. This is a really cool world I found here. Rochester's so boring. There's nothing to. I swear to God, there was nothing to do. I tried looking. I really did. I remember it was like an actual like a movie scene or something. I remember once me and Eli were driving to get food somewhere. We were like, let's check out this new place. And we're driving and I was like, oh, it's starting to rain, huh? And then maybe the most torrential downpour I've ever seen in my life just like erupted. And it was like, we literally had to like pull over and there was like puddles of water. I thought it was like, I was like, what the hell? And then it like ended in 10 minutes and it was completely sunny. And I was like, what? It's like one of my main memories from Rochester. It was weird. The only case of that being weirder was when I was driving through Ohio and all of a sudden it was like perfectly sunny and then I just saw this wall in front of me and I entered it and it was like I couldn't see in front of me at all. It was like an actual machine gun water rain experience and then about 1 mile later it just the cloud ended and it whoop, perfect sunny. It was like a car wash. I don't know what I was like what I was really confused. Buffalo does it. Well, anywhere in New York has good pizza, let's be real. Machine gun, water gun? Oh, I saw a video of that actually. They made one in China. That was weird. I remember once we were driving through like the foothills of like some area in between Rochester and Syracuse, and it started raining really hard, but not hard enough that we had to stop. And there was like a metal song playing, and it was like, it felt like we were in like Metal World. It was sick. The clouds were like, there was like lightning. It was like ominous, and it was like raining super hard. And it was like perfect environment for metal. It was so good. It's been relatively dry here this year, actually, compared to previous years. No crazy rain has really happened. Like, we have our nights, but... What is that noise I'm hearing? Is that rain? There's some noise outside. Maybe it's thunder. Who knows? That'd be crazy. If it was just... Let's see, I'm curious. That'd be crazy if I just, like... If I said that, now it's doing it. Yep. No way. The rain gods heard me. I summoned it. I summoned it. I got the weather stick. I'm just better than y'all. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't mind if people come up to me in public and like want a photo or whatever. But realistically, I don't really go to a lot of places where that's likely. You know what I mean? Like, a good 5 times that it happened were all like at the mall, because it's a mall. And that's like, you know, it's a mall. But the rest of the time, a lot of the time when I'm out, I'm just like going on like hiking trails and stuff. Or I'm going somewhere to grab food and then leave, you know. Somewhere like that. I've never had like a super weird fan interaction though. Nothing like that like shook me to my core, you know. Yeah, I'm trying to get out more. Especially now that allergy season's over. Before it gets too cold to go out, I'd like to do some things. Wow, not a common death right there at all. Relatively rare, actually. And annoying. Good luck. Farewell, Golden. Yeah, that was a really good death. Fire. All the chat's fault. It's all you guys' fault. That's why. There's no other explanation to it. Farrell made me want to stop playing Celeste. Amen. It's one of the most boring gaming experiences that one can have, probably, if I had to guess. It really just doesn't get more boring than that. Unless you're like, the only way to make it fun is you have to do it like when it's really gonna be really hard for you, or it's just gonna be so unengaging. Because a lot of people, like me, were like, oh, I need to do all this other stuff before farewell, or it's going to be too hard. No. You can do it. Just seriously, just don't. You know, it's so boring. It just, please, spare yourself. It just is not worth it. Oh, cool. At least they make it... I do like Celeste. I just don't like Farewell Golden. That's not like... That doesn't mean... You know. 202. That's cool. I've heard U.S. portion sizes are massive, but I wouldn't survive in any other country. Even in Japan, I was like, I was starving. I had to go have snacks all the time. just because of how fast my metabolism is or something. I don't know. I need like the most food ever in order to feel full. So that's like the one thing about America that I'm like, yeah, nice. Good. Eating final goodbye. Isn't that feral golden? Yes. There's one country I went to that beat me though, and that would be Germany. Germany's portion size has completely destroyed me, and that is not an easy feat. I was like, oh my god. There's just so many carbs and like stuff like, I don't know, like bratwurst, you know what I mean? Stuff that just has 1 zillion calories. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, I beat the D side. I beat 90. I got all the goldens except for the last one, and then we quit because we didn't want to... We didn't have it. And that's the sad truth about it all. I wanted to get the full thing, but... Oh, well. Yeah, I played Bloons 2D6. It's fun. I haven't played it, like, too much, though. Games where you kind of sit there and don't do anything for a while, I don't usually play that much. I wish I liked them more. I need to be more engaged, I guess. I guess it's just, like, how my brain works. For better or for worse. Like, idle games and stuff like that. The only idle game I grinded was Cookie Clicker when I was, like, in the ER, when I was in and out of the ER for like a week or something, then it was like, I might as well do something, and Cookie Clicker was like my actual saving grace, dude. So good. Like, watch that. Let's see. Just in that 1 week, how much did we get done in Cookie Clicker? Let's see. Check this out. What have we got in here? Yeah. As you can see, I was busy. What are we? What 228 quindecillion cookies. Click. I was sick I was there for like 2 weeks. I was like, I don't know, do something, this. Hi. My brain interprets those entirely differently. I like sending those messages though, a lot. It'd be better if you could make them big though. Like, you know the trick to make the big text in Discord? I think my haters need to like find a better, like, there's probably, okay, look. I'll give the haters some notes, okay? Because whenever the haters are out there... Now, I don't think they're smart enough to do this, okay? Like, let me be real. But if you want to actually get under my skin, you're not just going to do it by being like, you're ugly, or you're a loser. That's not going to do... What is that? That's nothing. Like, you can't... Mitch, what is that at all? But, like, it's not... Like, I don't care about you. I don't know you. What you need to do... Seriously, take notes here. This will make it possible. You need to... create an account or something, be really supportive for a long time, and make create like an actual like thing where like I respect you, you've done good things in the game, maybe you gotta like really build that up, and then after long enough, then you start saying like really, you know, bad things. But even then, it has to be like a very specific. You have to make me think that we respect each other first. That's actually all you are. Okay, cool. Looking forward to the big payoff there. But like, otherwise, you're not gonna... It's not gonna work. And when I least expect it. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. So what do you got? Jackpot, thank you for the gift sub. It's also important to remain, like, ostensibly mentally stable, because I know there's a bunch of people that were like I was chill with, they just like went insane, like just completely nuts. And then I'm obviously gonna discount whatever they're saying next because they're nuts, you know? Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think the haters are that invested. My haters aren't that serious about it. That's the issue right there. They're not committed enough. Yeah, level 1 haters, bro. Yeah, when you get good at hating, it's always just like, one time I posted something on Twitter, and I was like about like how streamers are like I came up with a pretty good like insult about how streamers are like their mouth breathing, stupid, whatever I said, and like the haters were in their replies like, that's just you, bro. Like you literally, all you did, right? Literally the lowest effort I've ever seen. You just took what I said and said, actually that's you. That's it. That's as good as you got right there. Just literally saying, whoa, what you said, that's you. Come on, bro. It's so lazy. These people don't got any gumption. Yeah, they actually said, no, you. Like, that's all you got? Come on, bro. It's always like the lowest hanging, like, there's no effort into it. Yeah, like a fake Npesta hater right there. I'd follow you, but you cost me a parking ticket? I'm so sorry. Look. Okay. Here's the thing, Mitch. I'd be down, but I want to play Mania really badly today. So, and it's already... But I know you're a D-Gen right now, too. But that's up to you. But I haven't eaten. I want to keep streaming for a while longer. I want to eat dinner, and then I want to play Mania. That's like a million things that have to happen. And I don't, like, plan on compromising that. Because I didn't play no Mania today, and I didn't really play yesterday because I played after playing like 8 other games, and I was mid. Mid. I don't know, I'm not hungry yet. I mean, you played already. I don't want to hear nothing from you. You played already. You don't even get to say nothing. You lose. Played an hour. I don't feel like our goals are gonna align here. Are we getting into the YouTube boxing scene? I can't imagine that selling. I don't have beef with anyone like that. Like, maybe if I had some real haters, you know what I mean? Maybe if I got someone really that was like, you know, someone worth boxing. I'm not mad enough at anyone to, I lied, but not for my sake. The only time I get like actually mad at someone on the internet is when they are people that like know disabled people are disabled and use that against them to try to make them feel bad about themselves. That is when I draw the line. Like if you're throwing hateful stuff at me, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna, like, I don't care. But when you do it against someone, like when you're doing that stuff against someone who doesn't have the right mind to like really defend themselves, that's when I'm like actually mad. That's when I'm getting there. The people that meet that criteria, I would probably, I'd be down to fight. But I don't have the spirit to fight anyone else. I'd be like, You know what I mean? I don't have the rage. I don't have the, yeah. I got almost to the part today. But then it ended the last wave click, so... Yeah. People who take shots at people who can't really, like, properly defend themselves or stuff like that is just, like... That's when it's over. That's when I'm not willing to play this, like, game where it's all fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like... It's just sad, man. It's more sad than it is frustrating, really. Punching down is pathetic. It's pathetic. Ain't nothing more embarrassing and pathetic than that. See people look you in the eyes and be like, you know, it doesn't matter because my life sucked too, so I can do whatever I want. Coward. You're a coward is what you are. People imagine that no one else could ever be going through the pain they're going through and that they have a right to act like how they act on the internet. But it's just not true. There's nothing that justifies it. Nothing. It's coming from someone who's been through a lot. You know? I don't mean that in any whatever way, but that's why I get so mad sometimes at these people. It's like, you don't understand. We've probably been through a lot, you know? And it was up to you to make that decision. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna use that to try to improve your life? Are you gonna use that to... Are you just gonna be an asshole? And not think twice about it, you know? Not think about what you're actually doing. It's ego is what it is. It's ego. Ego that no one else could ever get it, and you deserve it, and you deserve to make people feel bad, and it doesn't matter, because this and this and this, and no one will ever... And no one's ever going to change their mind about it. And they think of that as some great win against everyone else. They think about, like, I'm in everyone's head, I'm a big winner. You don't understand, like, this isn't about this. What's gonna happen is we're all gonna get older. We're all gonna move on. We all got stuff we're gonna do in our lives. What are you gonna do? If you ever gain the consciousness to realize what you've done and how you've acted against people, how are you gonna sleep at night? You're not gonna, like, this is bad for you. You're not gonna be able to get good relations because everyone that is a good person is gonna realize you're a creep. This is about you. Or whatever. You can't save everyone, you know what I mean? Cool. Reading the message Npesta, you're good away right after that death is not filling me with a lot of joy, unfortunately. Cool, cool. Yeah, definitely play Amore if you like things on it. Like, if you like anything related to anything, you'll probably like Amore, which sounds vague, but like, if you like a good story, you know, if you like good, like, psychological, like, stuff like that, you will like Amore. I think it's one of the most, like, likable... Yeah, I'm a way higher level hater for myself than most, like, people, whatever. I don't think anyone's a higher level hater to me than me. You know what I mean? And I don't even hate myself. Like, really. I'm a lot more chill with myself than I ever used to be. But I'm hard on myself, you know? Because like, I know I can handle it, you know, even if it looks... Whatever, I mean... I like pushing myself. Thank you, WB41719. Appreciate that. Insects. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were like that too. And then it's just past a certain age, you realize like someone might actually not grow out of that. Like around like 19, 20, we're starting to get older, and it's like, wow, they might just be like this forever. And that's kind of a sad thought. I think another one of the reasons I'm so hard on myself is because there's a lot of people in this community that, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just what it is. You know, people that praise me are like, you know, you're doing a really good thing here, and you know what I mean? And I'm always scared of letting that get to my head and letting that dictate how I form opinions and stuff like that, which is why, you know, there is some amount of myself that I have to keep myself in check so that I can, you know, remain sensible about things. And that's important to me. A lot of creators just completely gain a gigantic ego because everyone's always like praising them all the time, you know what I mean? And they never really stop to think about what they think about themselves. Not to say it's a bad thing, you know what I mean? I appreciate you guys, you know, sharing your support with me and everything like that, you know? Just being a human is complicated. It's so complicated. Ironically, that's like the most complicated thing we know, and it's in our own head. I think that's what fascinates me so much about it. Yeah. Sometimes you just do stuff in dreams that we're not gonna get back in our dreams. I'm just saying, sometimes you do things in dreams you're like, I can't figure out why I can't do this. It's like the most obvious, like, why can't you do a thing of all time? Like you're just trying to write your name and you can't do it, or like some easy ass task you're just like walk down the hall and you can't do it. It's really funny whenever that happens. And you're like, I don't know what's going on here. It keeps like resetting to the beginning of the hall or something like that. I think one of the main reasons I'm commenting on reader, and again, no ego attached to this, but like my reading speed is like, just because of the way my brain is configured, I can very easily glance over at chat and read it. I don't know how much longer I'll keep streaming for. I don't have like an estimate. What are you thinking? What's your idea? What do you mean? How? What do you want from me? I think the best way I can describe it is when it feels like I'm moving around in a dream, oftentimes it feels like I am like, you guys ever watch Inside Out? You know how they're all like, all the emotions are like in the head and they're piloting the human and everything like that? It's like there's just one of me, but it's like I'm in my head and I'm piloting me. That's what walking around in a dream kind of feels like. Kind of like Bowser Jr. in Mario Galaxy. And you're like, ha 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 ha. He's in the like cockpit of leather or whatever, and he sits on that like giant ass robot with the hammers are going ding ding. I'm not seeing Sharknado. Aired. Your message wasn't on the screen when I looked back. You have to understand, I made it all the way to the ship. That's a lot of time for messages to disappear off the screen. I'll scroll up, how about that? I'm sorry. But then what? So you leave in 20 minutes to come here? Or what? Like, what's the... Are we going to dinner? Do you need dinner? We like have to go to like Wegmans. We don't option L to 0 because it's like 10 zillion trillion PM, so we have to do that. And so in 20 minutes you leave. No, my stomach's gonna hurt before then. So Wegmans is open until 12, which is a godsend if you're a degen. Which, guilty! Base drop. What I want? I don't know what I want! Yes, leave now! You ask me like I know. It's pretty liminal at night, guys. You know, like a liminal space. Bit of Olive Garden. There's no Olive Garden. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. Yeah, Wegmans is literally like the best. Like Wegmans is probably the best proof of the existence of God I've ever seen in my life, I'd say. Like if I had to make a tier list. What? There's a thing there? It's not like Walmart. No. Walmart is like the evil version. No, Wegmans is the GOAT. It's the GOAT for a reason. There's a reason your mom's obsessed with it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Drinking too much water. I feel like you guys are really only here for the chair, you know. Like I don't want to get into something this serious right now, but you guys are only here for the chair, and you're not. You just don't respect me, you know. It's only about the chair for you guys. And when the chair finally pops up, and you guys are like, finally the chair! What we've been waiting for! And it's just like, you know. I'm joking. Watch this first attempt back. Watch this 70% right here. This is crazy. Absolutely not. Oh my god. I tried. Thank you for the 100 bits. OLED. Nida. I'm gonna 24-hour stream at 2.2. I think so, yeah, if the servers work. Which, like, I don't know. But maybe I'll, like, make a level. I wish I knew how to create. I really do. I want to make something. Give the 100 bits, Mikey. Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing today? It's not too late to learn, but it's so... Yeah, I understand that, but it's so time-consuming. So time-consuming. It's crazy. Crazy gamer. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard. And thanks everyone for all the subs today, really. Simplify, thanks for the gift, so I appreciate that. See, okay, usually that happens, but I swear to God, I have an idea that would be good. I swear on everything, bro. Everything. I have a vision and it needs to be executed or it's over. That's all there is to it. It's my, I need ibuprofen. Oh, this rain, I forget what it actually means. It's doing the thing again where it won't, oh, don't make me get the knife again, bro. I'll actually die, though. No, it's to the Rain of Amethyst, remember? Does anyone remember when I walked you guys through that? There we go. I just applied like 10 zillion force. Not opioids, oh my god. I don't know what drug class Tylenol was. I rely too much on ibuprofen, way too much. I'm not happy about it, but I need it because right now my body can't handle pressure changes. So when pressure changes come in, my head gets so swollen and painful, and it's not. I know it sucks for my liver, but I don't have a better solution yet until I see a doctor. Because that's all that ibuprofen is. It's an anti-sweller. It sucks because I know it's really not good for my liver. No, whenever I need ibuprofen, it's always very explainable as to why. If that makes any sense. It's not a mystery ever. No, I didn't hold long enough. Wow, that one's even worse than the last time. Damn it, bro. I was so casual about it, too. I was like, you're right, let's just be casual about it. But I was too casual about it, man. I was too casual. It almost worked. Too casual out here. It's a fine balance. It is a really hard level. If I just got past wave enough, though, it'd be good. I think I'd be chilling if I got past wave enough. I'd be able to beat it. But we'll never know, will we? Because I never seem to do it. Yep, didn't hold long enough. Why is it so hard today? I think I'm just bad at wave right now. Damn. Damn. Damn, though. That's worse. Screw it, that is so much better than what could have happened to me. Because I think that was actually gonna happen to me. That's just how I would have done that. So. Nope. No run. thought about that. Probably more so back in the old days, though. Probably not as much now, but I'm sure people back then just like beat really hard list teams without even knowing what the list was. They're just like, Extreme Demon beat this. Oh my god, I finally did it. You know, some people aren't on the internet all the time. You know, but they still play games. A lot of countries are like that. I posted my part on Twitter if you want to see it. Well, it's on Twitter if you want to see it, so. Yeah, in every game that's sufficiently big enough, there's always some super player out there that is able to just do it, you know what I mean? No, I didn't drop the verification I was gonna do. We might wait till 2.2 comes out though to get started with it because it's gonna take a while to verify. So maybe I'll beat this and then relax for a little and then go for that. I'll talk to them about it. Not sure yet. I don't think it'd be worth trying to rush it out before 2.2 because I don't think it's going to happen. It's not worth. Nice, nice. Yeah, there's always like, yeah, like Luke was always like that. Luke always just was able to do it, you know. Every time like Luke hangs out with any of us, like whenever there's a video game present, Luke's just like, oh, and I did it. There we go, and we're all just like, all right, that's cool, good, like good job, I guess. Like it's so confusing. I'm not doing jump scare. It would not make me play good. The anticipation of it would freak me out. Among Us edibles exist? No, but I thought of a game idea that goes something like that, where there's like a certain amount of brownies and some of them aren't edibles and then some of them are. And then everyone puts like red food coloring in their eyes or something like that, and they have to try to figure out who's high or something. And they like vote one person out each round or something. So you can play like Among Us with edibles, I guess. I'd be down to be Verdant. Yeah, I'd like to be Verdant at some point. Congregation's super cool. Wait, no way. That's so evil. Let's upgrade my face cam quality. Maybe at some point. I don't know if I should get a better mic, but every time I watch a video of mine, like my mic is so annoying to listen to because it's like all sharp and everything. But I don't know how to fix it. Or if I just need a new mic or something, I don't know. Yeah, Samari and Shay getting like verified is crazy. For those who know. Look, I will get a better computer, okay? I'll do it. I don't know, my favorite pizza place in New York is like just some local place you wouldn't have it near you if you're not in Syracuse. 10-14, 10-14, 10-14, 10-14. Considering ketamine's a dissociative, I don't think you're beating Acheron at all off of it, or getting past 1%. Every time at 10-14, my game just goes, and then like I don't have an explanation yet. It's just like that, and I don't know. No. The burp of destiny. I wanted it. Worst fail rip. Yeah. That is the hardest timing in the level, unfortunately. So, yeah. That's an actual random string of characters. I don't even know what that means at all. What's the burp of destiny? It's the burp I just did that could have signaled the end. It could have been like the, you know. Ding, 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 ding. I wanted to get somewhere today, like, actually. I mean, I got really, really close, let's be real. Like, I didn't do so bad for myself. But also, damn, dude, you know? I want it, bro. Roblox hobbies. Oh, yeah. I've heard vaguely about those, but then I've heard the engine sucks. So it's not worth getting into. It's just not interesting because of the engine being ass. And the way that it works. I think I've ever watched Cole once. I don't know what that is. It sounds familiar, but I've never actually heard of it. Maybe when we all get old enough, because I feel like that just happens. Eventually, we're all going to start making podcasts, and then we'll invite each other on it and be like, "Oh, I remember when back in 2022 we were doing this and this." You know what I mean? And that seems like something that might happen at some point in our lives. Seems like the natural progression of gaming communities. As stuff gets old enough, you know what I mean? No, 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 no. Why? Oh, shit, it's different. Yeah, because it's like this is just long form TikTok. I'm talking and then the game is moving. You see? We're no better than them, except we are by a lot. So there's a big difference between 30-second clip distracting you and like what happens on the screen actually matters, and if you get far enough it does something. You know what I mean? I'm also not TTS reading a Reddit post out. So my favorite album of all time is probably Melt My Eyes Deluxe. I mean, I don't know. It's the album that got. I mean, Melt My Eyes, the first one, like got me into music, but like the deluxe is really good, and it's just nostalgic to me because it got me into it. You know, and I think albums like that will always hold a special place in your heart. And on top of that, it's just so good throughout. I can't really think of a better album off the top of my head consistently. LP is crazy. I still think LP is crazy. Not everyone agrees with me on that one, but probably Peggy's best still, even after Scaring the Hose, which is a big, big thing to say. Not that I don't like Scaring the Hose. I think it's probably second best. But I still think it's a bit of recency bias. I think LP is just better. But That's just, when I say better, I mean I like it more than, I mean, there's no better, like, you know what I mean? Like, I still just can't get into Death Grips. I say it every time. And I'm not trying to, I'm not better than it. I really wish I liked Death Grips. I like Spikes. Spikes is a good song. But it's like, the songs I like are very few and far between. I usually don't just like outright, like even Little Darky's got Composition XI. You know what I mean? I usually don't just count an entire artist. There's some artists that are bad, but you know. Reaching the end of my attention. No, you're reaching the end of my stomach giving me energy. That's what you're reaching the end of. And also the gigantic countdown when Mitch said, I will be at your house in 20 minutes. No, I agree, I agree. With Good Kid, Mad City being quote-unquote better. I mean, when I say better, I just say, I mean I enjoy it more. I think it's just one of those things, again, where, Cheap Hab feels like it wasn't really, like... I mean, none of Kendrick's albums feel like they were made for me, more so, but, like... It feels like, I don't know how to describe it. I like Good Kid, Mad City more. I think it's got more songs I come back to more. Still, after all these years, right? You know. I love the deluxe cover. I haven't listened to a lot of good new albums, honestly. I can't find nothing that I really like right now. I don't know, I'm just going through a rut, I guess, of finding new stuff. Yeah, I listened to Pink Tape. It's got some good songs on it. I like the end. Another song in there I like, I don't remember the name of it. I listen to a lot of stuff, but, like, my, like, favorite genres, even though I listen to, like, a bunch of stuff, would definitely be, like breakcore electronic, or rap, or hip-hop, or, like, more ambient stuff, like Telepath, you know what that is. Like, stuff like that is definitely, like, my favorite, and metal. That's, like, my, like... I listen to a bunch of other stuff outside of that, but, like, if I'm being completely honest, that's what, like... gets me the most. That's what gets me the most, like, into it, you know? Yeah, I liked Utopia. It was good. The Jimmy Breakers is a really good song, and, Burn This Moment, and there's another one. You Can Do It, Brain. Can I do it? Tamori Hearts 2? Or The Flood's really good? No, I listened to plenty of Peggy. Don't worry. I'm already here. Don't worry. We're already on the same page. I have a very well edited montage of Bald plus Bald remix coming out on my second channel very soon. So, if you like Bridge, or if you just like Bald, really, you should check that out soon. I think you guys will like it. I've watched Steins Gate Zero. I don't play GD that much off stream, to be honest with you. I can only really play GD for like 2 hours before my fingers just like, oh my god, and my eyes are just like, oh my god. I can really only play any game for a set day, if I play a game for a set day longer than like 2 hours, it's over usually. Like Bridge, I played for like 2 hours. Mania 2 hours. Celeste 2 hours. Outside of that, I don't really. It's kind of pointless past that point, unless I just feel like hanging out and talking. You know. Okay, test. I saw that kind of like I'd say probably 10-15 seconds after you sent it. So factor that in. Yeah, Bridge is so good for that. It's so fire. You guys are gonna like this montage. I'm so happy about it. Well, okay, Oblivion was different, and I got desperate there, but it wasn't like I probably would have done it at the same speed if I played it less time. But I was really desperate, which is just different entirely. GG Seed Bobo. Good fight, good fight. ED is lightweight compared to Oblivion. I wouldn't even say that's true. The more I play it, the more I'm like, they're kind of on equal footing here. It feels like the same thing where it's like doing all these things in a row is so unlikely that it's just like, how will it ever happen? I'm definitely more on the page that they're around the same. I mean, I already was kind of from the beginning. Like, personally, Oblivion was harder for me, but like, they're definitely in like the same group. Like, I wouldn't really put one over the other. Definitely around the same. No, I'm not into 100 gex. I don't like him. I don't like hyper pop. It sounds too much like hyper pop. Sorry. The Cuban editor doesn't use crazy. I didn't really get to capitalize off the skill boost I got after Oblivion because my allergy season came up and I was useless for many, many months. That's, yeah. I want to find more songs with like this, like, I don't even know. I've been looking so hard to find a word to like describe it. Like these like long, like spacey noises in the background that just get me the right way. These like ethereal long notes in the background of songs that like change pitch in a certain way to like, I don't know, bro. Like ambient stuff, yeah, but you can have some like some energy with it too. Ethereal Breakdown. It's like the one song I posted on Twitter, Till Dawn. Jesus Christ, that I need like billion, trillion, zillion songs to sound exactly like that right now. But I always hate that feeling when you find a song that's so good and you're like, no song is gonna do this, and you're just like, damn it. But that's kind of the fun about I found it. You finally find something like that. You're like, oh yes, I found it. You know, it's like a game almost. You know, you're trying to find what you're looking for. It's funny. It's like solving a puzzle because your brain knows what it wants to listen to, but you're the one who has to guess. It's like, okay, brain, do you want this? No. Okay, how about this? Oh, I got it. Win. You know, it's like a I don't know how to describe it. It's a real. I don't know. I didn't get to see the original message, so that was a really good message. I think the key to the kind of music I like to listen to is it has a lot of emotion or energy behind it. Even if it's like ambient, it still has like an emotion behind it or like a world behind it that it's building. You ever listen to an ambient song and it feels like it's building like a jungle or like some sort of like cyberspace world, like something like that, where it's either building something or I want a song that has a lot of energy that makes it so it feels like I'm doing something that's like really important, or like some big fight or something like that. I like stuff like that. by like stuff like metal and like ambient stuff and breakcore and stuff like that. Songs that make my brain think about things. That's why I don't listen to as much like rock and stuff like that, or stuff that's like, it doesn't make my brain like go. I like really challenging my brain with music and getting into like what's going on here. Can you do something to this, you know? And yeah. And figuring out, you know, your music taste more has been very very helpful for that. That sounds crazy. The Star-Conquering Traveler. That's like the kind of a name. That's when you know you're getting into it right there, when it's called something like that. Okay, everyone. I think it's the end of the stream, unfortunately, because things are happening that mean the stream needs to end, and I need to grab dinner and this and this and this. Whatever. I want to get to the next part of the level, man. That's what needs to happen. I need to get to the next part of the level. I'm sick of this part of the level. I need to go to the next part. This part's done. New part. Whatever. We'll get there eventually. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen. We raid someone now. Your bot isn't live this time. You made me look. I was like, there's no way they're saying this again. No, this person's AFK. I was gonna raid the Matterdog TV. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Alright, I found a guy. I don't know what's going on with their screen resolution. It doesn't look right. You guys tell me if this looks right when you get it. I don't know what's... Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, as always. I had a good time today. And, yeah, take care. I didn't even start the raid yet. I didn't start the raid yet! And I was already saying all that. Damn. Now you're still listening to my voice. That's crazy. You know I'm jittering that button. I'm done. I already said what I needed to say. You guys don't get it. I'm leaving right now.